What's up, Dirty Cones? It's Wednesday, so it's Abyssmas Eve. Whew. It's not too cold this morning. Not that you can ever really complain about cold once you've frozen in other places, or maybe listened to Jocko and read about the Marines at the Chosin Reservoir, or the soldiers at the Battle of the Bulge. It sounds pretty horrible. Was pretty horrible. Can probably just barely comprehend how bad that was. But that's alright, because everything's relative, and as you get used to being cold and miserable, first in a swimming pool, then, you know, I remember my first team, we were going through, I think it was like second or third week, and we're running around the track, and the track had ice on it. We had all our sweats on, and beanies, and gloves, and 2 pairs of socks, and ran 3 miles, and I didn't sweat a bit. And that was the first time I'd ever ran and not sweat. And I was like, oh my god, it's cold. And you were kind of slip sliding around the track, and they're like, be careful. Okay, go. That was it. And oh man, I remember being at Kirtland, and Albuquerque's got that wind that just cuts right through you, and you're doing you had to do like a pass every time you did a different block. So mountain, air ops, medicine, you had to take a PT test, and the wind was blowing against me both ways. I'm like, oh my god, it switched, and then it just cut you. And then what I really hated about Kirtland was the static electricity. I got shocked every time I got into bed. And I know, like, what are you complaining about? But the point is there's no point. Get used to being miserable. And the real point of this is, so I was speaking with Mr. Brian Silva a day or two ago, and he and I are going to do a Q&A together on his channel. And so sometime mid-December, so you got maybe 3 weeks. We'll let you know as it gets closer an exact date. But start thinking about your questions that you might want to ask, or think about, or I don't know. I was talking to a current Indoc instructor, and he was saying, you know, how, well, once you get out of Indoc and you've been in maybe 2 or 3 years, you don't really talk about Indoc anymore, but some people still do, and so it's just, you know, I have to think back to all these stories, because I haven't, well, I mean, you know, it's 40 years ago that I went through, so it wasn't 40 years ago. It wasn't that long, but it was a long time ago. I mean, when, I think I've said this before, there was a PJ when I was 26. I'd been a PJ for about 4 or 5 years, and he had been a PJ for as long as I'd been alive. And I'm like, dude, he's like, shut up. And I love, he's a good dude. But just fun to think about that, you know, I mean, shoot, there are guys that, yeah. Anyway, someday you'll be old, and you'll meet some 18-year-old kid that won't get any of your jokes, won't know what a CD is, won't know. They'll be like, what's a phone? What? I just push this thing on my ear and I can talk to people. But yeah, so Brian Silva and so think about questions, and then I'll leave you with my who have I defended today that I do not like, And today, it's Kevin Hart. Maybe I should go back into law school and just finish it up and just defend people because... Oh, so Kevin Hart has a kid. It's his 1-year-old child's birthday. Had a Cowboy and Indians birthday party. And people are offended. I'm gonna go with... There's a football team called the Cowboys. There's a baseball team called the Indians. There's a football team called the Redskins. I don't hear anybody complain about them. But you're going to attack poor Kevin Hart because he gave his child a Cowboys and Indians birthday party. I'm just saying that is the dumbest thing one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And before you go, well, blah, blah, I am Native American. I own a cowboy hat. And I'm in Texas. So I don't see anything wrong with the Cowboys and Indians party. I don't think it hurts anybody. I don't think it's cultural appropriation. I believe it's just giving your kid a fun party. And if we want to think about it, he probably didn't even come up with the idea. The man's got enough money, he hired an event planner or a wedding planner that does birthday planning on the side and thought, this will be fun. I don't know. So, try not to be offended if, so I was having a conversation with a young man, about 16 years old, and he threw out the N-word, and I'm like, whoa, and I'm, no, and he looks at me, and he starts trying to make somebody see him. I said, no. I said, that is not a word we use, that is not acceptable, that no way. Well, Tom, Huckleberry Finn, blah, I'm like, no. And changed the subject and continued, and I'm going, but the way that he just kind of threw it out wasn't quite, if I'm quoting Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer, and I say a word, I'm quoting the word, well, I wouldn't quote the word, but if I'm quoting somebody, Huckleberry Finn said, I would sound, I believe like that, but to just be like, boom, I'm like, whoa, it just, I don't know how you guys speak when you're around your parents. I don't know how it wasn't my childhood anyway, but, I don't know how, you speak, you want to impress people. The only thing you're impressing people with is your ignorance by using said word, and you're not impressing anybody. If you're 16 years old and you're allowed to be at the big table and talk to people, you should probably keep your mouth shut and just listen. When I'm around people that are older than me, I defer, listen, be quiet, not say anything. If I got something to say, I'll say something. But I don't know. Don't try so hard to impress people. Impress people with your actions. Impress people with your use of good English. Maybe that's not the best grammatically proper way to say good English, but there's no reason to. If you need to use it, Will Willis said it best. Well, but he wasn't talking about this word because he doesn't like that word either. There are no bad words. They're just words that we don't say in certain company. So, well, I'm thinking of the F word and other words, and yes, I do occasionally cuss on here, but I'm trying to show you you don't need it. My kids never heard me cuss, because I want to show them that you don't need those words. Now, if they were at work with me or I'm smoking cones, it's a whole nother ball game, but church tongue. It's a reference to a movie called The Wedding Planner, since we're talking about birthday planners. It's a really good movie with Adam Sandler back when he was funny. Adam Sandler, Great American. So the point is, be careful with your words, because words can hurt people. 1. 2, don't say words like that, because that's a horrible word. I mean, I'll defend freedom of speech all day, but the hatred that comes from that word is just a whole nother spectrum. So don't give way to hate. Be good, work hard, train hard, sleep hard, get enough rest, and get used to being miserable. Think of your questions now, and Brian Silva and I will be happy to answer them together. And if we can't find an answer for them, we will find somebody who can. So, say good, dirty cones, and I'll chat with you later. Hoo-yah.